Has Mikel Arteta stumbled upon a formation that will make Arsenal true title contenders for this season? Or was it just pure luck and we're never going to see that formation ever again? I'm Ty Knight here. Let's get into it. So as we know, Newcastle lost against Arsenal 2-1 at St James's Park. Thank goodness that game is over because we battled to get that victory thanks to Gabriel and Moreno. But Mikel Arteta done something totally different that we have not seen him do at all in the 6 years of being an Arsenal manager. He played the 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3, it's okay. I don't think it's the best formation. I was always screaming for him to play the 4-2-3-1. Like I did in my show on Friday. If you guys didn't watch it, go back and watch that show. You'll see I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. I've been saying the 4-2-3-1 was the perfect formation for Arsenal to play. With the personnel that we've got, the 10 attacking players that we have at our disposal, this formation gives us the fluidity that the team begs and breathes inside of them, but they just wasn't allowed to do it until this game came up. And the most surprising thing about the 4-2-3-1, it showcases everyone's individuality of just how good they are. When it came to attacking, we was just popping that ball from back to front so quickly. Eze had freedom of his life in that game. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, they absolutely marshaled that midfield, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But what's your opinion? You need to let me know in the comments below. How good was Zubimendi and how good was Rice and how good was Eze? Please let me know. And while you're there leaving your little notes and comments, make sure you hit that subscribe and you hit that like button. And if you do see the button there for the hype, press that button straight away. Let's get back into the show. So with Saka playing, Trossard playing again, and then also Gyökeres there. Of course, there's still question marks about Gyökeres, but what we saw in the 4-2-3-1 formation, it just worked for him as well. He almost scored a goal. Of course, he got brought down by Nick Pope, and I'm no doubt he would have scored his penalty. But what I like about this 4-2-3-1 formation, it just lets Arsenal off the hook in the sense of no handbrake, no rigid plays, no players staying in the set positions and not moving. This just allowed pure creativity. It let the front four, that's right, the front four, which was Saka, Eze, Gyökeres, and Trossard, the front four express themselves and move and stress Newcastle out to no ends. That allowed Zubimendi as well as Declan Rice to sit back, marshal, but then come forward when they needed to. And that there, Newcastle just didn't know what to do. In the first half, Arsenal were just everywhere, but controlled everywhere. And Mikel Arteta must have thought to himself, okay, this actually works much better. Me dropping Mikel Moreno doesn't mean that he's a bad player because we saw what he done when he came on. He became an impact player. And again, this formation allows it. The 4-3-3 would not have allowed Arsenal to play this way whatsoever. But am I wrong about that? I just need to know what your thoughts are. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. And in both formations, what players would you play? If everyone is fit, what players would you start in the preferred formation that you pick? And again, if you haven't done it yet, comments below, like, subscribe, and hit the hype button to get this show trending to no ends. So, when Arsenal play Olympiacos on Wednesday, and then they got West Ham on Saturday, is Mikel Arteta going to go back to the 4-3-3, or is he going to stick to this 4-2-3-1 throughout the rest of the season? Because the 4-2-3-1 allows Mikel Arteta to use the 10 attacking players that he has. It allows also the centre midfield to be disciplined if it needs to be as well. The defence, we don't need to talk about that because that's just solid all over. But we've got Nketiah, they're still out injured, kinda. But we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly there at left back with Calafiore. We've got Mosquera, we've got Saliba, we've got Timber, we've got White in defence. Arsenal are stacked there. But for midfield in the central state, you can always rotate Rice, Moreno, as well as Ranieri and Zubimendi as well. Don't forget Norgard. I'm not going to forget Norgard because he's also there. Mikel Arteta has every weapon at his disposal. Some are injured, some are not. But this formation is the key ingredient for Mikel Arteta to pick up a major silverware. And even a minor one in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. But this formation, I'm telling you, for what I saw, and my hunch was right when I done the show on Fridays talking about the 4-2-3-1. I've been talking about this formation before the season even started, saying that this was the formation that Mikel Arteta has to go with. But again, he went for the 4-3-3, and some performances were good, some performances were bad. Liverpool, it was bad. Man City, it was bad, and it wasn't tried and tested because the 4-3-3, we kind of got lucky with the equaliser. But Arsenal needed more. And what we done against Newcastle was more. What we done against Newcastle was show just how good our team is. It really is. But what was your thoughts on a game against Newcastle? Should this be the formation going forward against Olympiacos, West Ham, and the other teams that we've got coming up as well? You need to let me know in the comments below. Please leave your comments below. Really important. I want to know what your thoughts are, so then on the next show I can read out, based on whether it's going to be Tuesday or it's going to be Wednesday before the Olympiacos game, what the team you would pick out for the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3, whichever one you pick out. Let me know, comments below, read them out, and then I'll debate you either in the comment section or on the next show when I read out exactly what your thoughts are, and then challenge you on your thoughts. See if there's any good points to it. Is the formation you picked the best one? Is the personnel that you picked the best one? And we can have a great conversation. I'm Ty Knight here. Thanks for watching. And I hope you're back in for the next show where we're going to be reviewing the Arsenal versus Olympiacos, and then Arsenal versus West Ham, and then whatever else pops up in the Arsenal verse of conversation and other teams as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.